Welcome to Nashim News with me, Rizwan Asad. Today I'll take you to the 1 year chronology of B.S. Yeddyurappa, who completed 1 year yesterday on July 26th. After the assembly elections, Yeddyurappa was sworn in as the chief minister, but his journey was very short, just for a period of 3 days. After that, Yeddyurappa had to step down, and Kumaraswamy, along with the help of the Congress, was sworn as the chief minister. It took 14 long months for Yeddyurappa to dislodge the Kumaraswamy government, and Yeddyurappa was successful in dislodging the Kumaraswamy-led Congress government due to the turnout counts MLAs who left Congress and JDS and resigned from the party, and eventually Yeddyurappa won that vote of trust and became the chief minister for the fourth term. He is the only chief minister to have been sworn in as a fourth term chief minister. As soon as Yeddyurappa was sworn as the chief minister, it was not easy for him. It was a roller coaster ride. It was a road of very tough ahead, because as soon as he was sworn in, he was the lone chief minister with no other cabinet colleagues sworn in, and eventually he had to face the flood situation in Karnataka, where some parts of Karnataka floods situation was so bad that Yeddyurappa had to tour all by himself and see that smooth functioning, and all the work of the floods he had to do by himself. And after that, Yeddyurappa had to face a lot of dissidents within his own party, and then there was a cabinet expansion where some people close to Yeddyurappa were not given the berth. Nevertheless, a blessing in disguise came to Yeddyurappa when he won 13 of the 15 MLA seats in the by-election, and Yeddyurappa, being a tall leader from Karnataka, proved his mantle by showing to the high command that he is still a strong force to reckon with. But his problem never ended there. As soon as these 13 MLAs who were sworn in, who were dissidents turnout counts from the Congress and the JDS, who won from the respective constituencies, they had to be made ministers, and Yeddyurappa had no other choice but to have to keep his promise of making all these dissidents MLAs as ministers. And in between this, Yeddyurappa was facing crisis not from Congress or from JDS, but within his own party colleagues who wanted a change of leadership, and there was a talk and some meetings going on. Nevertheless, Yeddyurappa was very strong in his saddle, because he knew, being a very powerful Lingayat leader, nobody can dismantle him, and the BJP High Command did not take any chances of dismantling or moving Yeddyurappa, fearing that it would be a backlash and BJP would suffer. COVID-19 pandemic, which happened in the month of March, came as a blessing in disguise to Yeddyurappa. Dissidents' activities came to a standstill, and Yeddyurappa was in the forefront looking after the pandemic. Initially, during the lockdown, Karnataka, led under B.S. Yeddyurappa, did a fantastic job of controlling the COVID-19 pandemic from spreading. And in the meantime, there was a Rajya Sabha election where Yeddyurappa was not given any say in the seat selection, and then there was MLC election also, which Yeddyurappa managed to get one or two of his close confidant. During this pandemic, a lot of talk was going on of mishandling of the COVID-19 pandemic by the Yeddyurappa-led government, because too many ministers were looking after the pandemic, and there was infighting between the ministers themselves. And the Congress was first to attack the chief minister on the purchase of the medical equipment, and were asking questions to Yeddyurappa government. Yeddyurappa was silently doing his work, and he is moving forward. And in this 1 year of Yeddyurappa, it was not easy for him. He had to face a lot of dissidents within his own party, and there was a talk of his own political secretary who said that I don't take Yeddyurappa as my leader. My leaders are Narendra Modi and Amit Shah ji. And he also said that there were some leaders from North Karnataka of BJP who wanted to topple Yeddyurappa, but they couldn't do, because Yeddyurappa is on a strong wicket. In this 4 years in the fourth term as the chief minister, Yeddyurappa has sobered down. He's become very cool, calm. He's not losing his temper. He's going slowly in the path. Now with Yeddyurappa completing 1 year and a lot of promises he had made, some have been fulfilled, and opposition are fast to catch on, saying that he has not fulfilled many promises, like the farmer issues, land reforms act has been not discussed. The financial bill also was passed, due to COVID-19 crisis. It was just passed so that everything functions smoothly. But with now Yeddyurappa completing 1 year in office, and with his cabinet expansion likely in August, and we have to see how far Yeddyurappa will stay. There's also talks that they want to shift Yeddyurappa to a better position and see that his son becomes a minister. But the BJP is not taking chances, because Yeddyurappa is a very, very powerful leader and a very tall leader from Karnataka, and they don't want to take any chances. It remains to be seen how Yeddyurappa will take the party here from here on, and with the cabinet expansion in due course, it remains to be seen where Yeddyurappa stands in future. Rizwan Asad, Nasheman News.